So pull up a chair, come on, let's play. What's happening in the music room today? Hi everyone, my name is Jody and we're going to do some music today. Let's get started. This first unit is about rhythm reading. So you might say, I've never done that before. That's okay. We're going to start from the beginning, reading something like this. You might say, yeah, but I did that in grade 3. That's okay. It means that you had a great music teacher, and now you're ready for something more. We're going to start at the very beginning and move forward together so that we're all on the same page. Because by the end of this, we're all going to be reading something like this. Let's get started. We're going to be doing rhythm reading using a technique that I call fruit salad rhythms. Fruit salad? Like fruit salad that you eat? No. There's lots of different ways to read rhythms in music. This is just one technique, but this is a technique that I've been using for a really long time, and so many of my students have been successful with it, I thought I would share. We're going to start with apples and pears. Not those kinds of apples and pears. We're going to start with apples and pears. You might look at apples and pears and say, hang on a second, I recognize those. We called them TTs and TAs. Yeah, that's totally possible. If you have another system that you use for reading rhythms, you can keep using it. Why change if it works for you? But if you don't have a system yet, try mine, see what happens. You'll notice that a pear has one circle as part of the note. One circle, one sound, one syllable. Pear. If you look at an apple, you'll notice it has two circles. Two circles, two sounds, two syllables, apple. In this case, though, they're holding hands. Yeah, I teach grade 2. When we see one note, we think pear, one sound, and then we clap one time, pear. When we see two notes, we think apple, and then we clap 2 times, apple. Let's try this exercise together. I'll clap, and then you clap back. Pear, pear, apple, pear. You got it. That's it. We can make up an endless number of rhythms using just apples and pears. Seriously, we're talking Beethoven here. Let's try another one. Apple, apple, pear, pear. You got it. That's it. Super easy. Okay, let's do another exercise. I'll clap a rhythm and then you tell me what the fruits are. Are you ready? 1, 2, and here I go. Did you get it? I'll do it one more time. Did you get it now? The rhythm that I just clapped was apple, pear, apple, pear. Let's look at a line of music that uses just apples and pears, like this one. Number 1, it starts with a pear, and then an apple, and then another pear, and then another apple. Then we see a line. That line is really important, but it's not going to make a sound. So we're going to skip over it and go to the next fruit. The next fruit is an apple, then another apple. Ooh, the pattern has changed. Be careful. Then another pear, and lastly, a pear. You got it. Let's read it through all together, one fruit at a time. Pear, apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, pear. That's it. Let's try clapping it together. I'll count us in so that we all start together at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, and here we go. Pear, apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, pear. You got it. Let's try that one more time together. Same line, same thing. 1, 2, and here we go. pear, apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, pear. You got it. That's it. You're reading music. Again, if this is your first time reading music and rhythms, you're doing fantastic. Keep going. If this is easy for you, hang on, because it's going to get harder. Before we go on, let's take a moment to look at that little line that's in the middle of our musical sentence. You'll notice that just before that line comes, we see 4 fruits. A pear, an apple, a pear, and another apple. That's 4. Then we have that line, and then how many fruits do we have after that line? Did you say 4? Yeah, so it's an apple, then another apple, then a pear, and another pear. That's 4 more fruits. So we have 4 fruits before the line, and then we have the line, and then we have 4 fruits after the line. In fruit salad language, we could call the space before the line a bowl. So I have 4 fruits in my bowl. In this musical sentence, we have 2 bowls. Each one has 4 fruits in it. In musical language, we don't use the word fruits in bowls. Each bowl is called a bar or a measure. Each measure has 4 beats rather than 4 fruits. Again, it's just a different way of saying the exact same thing. And as long as you understand that, it's all good. Let's take a look at this next line of music together. Number 2 starts with an apple, and then a pear, and then an apple, and then another apple, so be ready for surprises. Then another apple, then a pear, then an apple, and then a pear. Let's try reading this line together using the fruit names. Apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, apple, pear. That's it, you got it. Let's try again from the beginning, but this time we'll say the fruit names and we'll also clap along. Here we go. 1, 2, and here we go. Apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, apple, pear. You got it. Again, when we come to that little line in the middle between our 2 fruit bowls, we're not actually going to clap it or wait for it. It doesn't take up any time in our musical line. So we just skim over it as if it wasn't even there. Let's read number 2 one more time together using the names of the fruits while also clapping. Here we go. 1, 2, number 2, here we go. Apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, apple, pear. Great job! You might notice that when I say the word pear, I make the word long. Pear. Sometimes that makes it easier for me to remember that one sound is going to take up one full beat. Pear. So I'm going to make it maybe a little ridiculous sounding. Pear. But at least you'll get the idea, and maybe in your head you can read it that way. Let's try one more exercise using number 2. This time I'm going to count you in, and you're going to clap along with me, but this time we're going to say the names of the fruits in our heads, not out loud. Are you ready for it? 1, 2, number 2, here we go. Amazing! Did you do it? How did it go? You might notice that sometimes when I do that, my lips are moving along with the words. That's okay. That's one of the techniques that I use to help me keep on track. All right, let's do number 2 just one more time, but this time we're going to do it faster. Do you think you can do it? Let's try. Okay, so although we want to go faster, we still need to clap together. So I'll start us off together. Just think about it. Here's our beat. Pear, pear, pear. Or apple, 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 apple. Are you ready? Look at number 2. And 1, two, and here we go. Apple, pear, apple, 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 pear, apple, pear. How did it go? This is amazing. You're doing great. Let's move on to something a little more challenging, shall we? So far, we have apples and we have pears, but we need one more fruit. This fruit looks like this. It has 4 notes. 4 notes, 4 sounds, 4 syllables. What fruit has 4 syllables in the name? Can you think of one? Okay, I have a couple. There's avocado. And then the question becomes, is it a fruit? I think it's a fruit. I have another one. Pomegranate. Pomegranate. That's a good one. Oh, I have one more, but it's not a fruit, but we could still use it. Cauliflower. Cauliflower. That's 4 sounds. There's one more that I like to use. Watermelon. When I say watermelon for this kind of exercise, I like to emphasize the T in the middle of the word. Watermelon. It makes it easier for me to remember how many times I need to clap. Let's try it. Ready? 1, 2, and here we go. Watermelon. 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 Okay, let's mix it up. Ready? I'm going to give you 2 fruits, and then you clap back. It'll go something like this. Watermelon pear. Watermelon apple. Watermelon, watermelon. Did you stop clapping when you needed to? It's hard. This is hard. 8 claps would be really hard if you were counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's easier to just say watermelon, watermelon, and then stop clapping when you run out of syllables. Let's try 4 fruits now. I'll say the name of 4 fruits, and then you clap back with me using the rhythm. Are you ready? Let's do it. Watermelon, watermelon, apple, pear. Here we go. Watermelon, apple, pear. Yeah, let's do it again. Let's do a different one. Apple, watermelon, apple, pear. Here we go. Apple, watermelon, apple, pear. You got it. Let's try another one. Apple, watermelon, watermelon, pear. Here we go. Apple, watermelon, watermelon, pear. So this is hard. You have to remember what I said, right? Let's try one more. Are you ready for it? Here we go. Watermelon, 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 pear. Here we go. Watermelon, 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 pear. You got it. I find that the faster we go, the easier it is if you use little tiny claps. I call these golf claps. Oh yes, lovely shot. So let's try using a little bit faster clapping, but we'll still clap together. Same rhythm. Watermelon, 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 pear. There's our 4 fruits. Ready? 2, and here we go. Watermelon, 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 pear. Let's try it again. A little bit faster. Are you ready? Watermelon, 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 pear. Here's our beat. This is each fruit. Ready? 1, 2, and here we go. Watermelon, 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 pear. Nice! Oh, that was so good. Okay, let's do it one more time. This time, same speed, same rhythm. Watermelon, 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 pear. But this time, no words. So think them in your head and just do the clapping. Are you ready? Let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, and here we go. Did you do it? How did it go? Now, let's fit the watermelon into our music alongside our apples and pears. Let's have a look at this line of music together. Number 3. Number 3 starts with a pear, and then another pear, and then an apple, and then A pear. Okay, so far this is review. We've done all this before. But then we have a watermelon. And do you notice when you look at the watermelon, you actually see two lines on the top of those four notes instead of just one? Take a minute and look at the apple again. The apple has one bar at the top joining those two notes, but a watermelon has two bars joining four notes. So it does look different. There's our watermelon, and then after the watermelon, we have an apple, and then a pear, and then another pear. Awesome. Okay, let's try saying the words for all of these fruits, starting at the beginning. It starts with a pear, then a pear, apple, pear, watermelon, apple, pear, pear. Amazing. Let's try clapping it and saying it at the same time. Ready? 1, 2, number 3. Here we go. Pear, pear, apple, pear. Watermelon, apple, pear, pear. Did the watermelon surprise you? Sometimes we get surprised by what comes up in our music. But as musicians, we like to say the surprises are for the audience. They're not expecting it. But as a musician, I can look ahead and see what's coming up next in my music. So when you get to the end of the first bar or the first fruit salad bowl, take a peek ahead and remember that watermelon comes next. Let's try it one more time. Number 3. Ready? 1, 2, number 3. Here we go. Pear, pear, apple, pear. Watermelon, apple, pear, pear. Was that better? Awesome! You're doing such a great job. If you've got this, then you're ready to move on to the next video. If, however, you need a few more minutes to practice, that's okay. Just go back and watch this one again. You all are superstars. Great job today. I'll see you at the next video. If you have your own technique, you should keep using it, right? There's lots of different ways to read rhythms in music. Read rhythms. If you look at apples, you'll notice that I'm drooling.